Good morning and welcome back to Sonnet Institute of Technology. My name is Bruce Malauti and I'm an instructor for the Pentesting video course. This is module 4.3 and in this module we'll take a look at encrypting data in motion. Data in motion is the kind of data which we find in networks. So we have good examples of data that is encrypted and data that is secure. For example, VPN tunnels, they use encryption. If you visit a secure web server, you are actually using a secure web browsing protocol, which is HTTPS. If you try to access the a remote shell using a secure protocol, that is secure shell, SSH, or whenever you connect to a Wi-Fi access point or on a switched network, you are actually forced to use encryption. So some of these encryption mechanisms include the following. The list is long, but I'll just point a few. The first mechanism is IPsec and is mostly used in point-to-point VPN tunneling. The second mechanism is the SSL and the TLS. For example, these are applied in the secure web browsing, that is HTTPS. We also have layer 2 encryption mechanism that can use symmetric or asymmetric key encryption. A good example is the 802.1x that is used in switch network, or the 802.11i that is used in wireless access points. And we also have the public and private key infrastructure or encryption kind of thing. So these can be used in HTTPS or even SSH. So I just want to point a few on that plain text protocols are vulnerable to many attacks. Those attacks include sniffing, man-in-the-middle attack, packet capture, or even packet replay. So examples of such protocols are HTTP, Telnet, FTP, LDAP, MIME, SNMP version 1, or even DNS. So I'll take you to the GNS3 topology and let's have a look at some of these protocols and try to simulate how they work from the client to the server. So here's our GNS3 topology. I have a telnet server over here, then I have a web server right here. So this is the IP to a telnet server and IP to a web server. Then I have a trunk link here which is using 802.1q. Then I have 4 Windows 7 machines. This machine will act as a telnet client. This machine will act as a SSH client. And then I have HTTP client over here, and then finally the HTTPS client. So this telnet server will also act as a SSH server. So these two machines will reach that server, and then these two, which are HTTP and HTTPS, will reach the web server. So the telnet client, telnet server, SSH client, SSH server, HTTP client, HTTP server, HTTPS client, HTTPS server. So let's get started. So I'll log into the first machine, which is the telnet client, and as a matter of fact, I know the credentials. They've been pre-configured, but I just want to show you how it works. So let me log into my Windows machine. Okay, I can exit that. Okay, so I'll use party. Okay, so I will telnet to the telnet server, and its IP, it's so it's a .1. So I'll select telnet right here, and then enter the right IP. It's 192.168.15.1. So I click open. So it's asking me to log in. So my username, if I recall well, it's Lisa, and the password. Okay, so I'm logged in as Lisa onto the telnet server, as you can see here. So as a matter of fact, this telnet server, it's a Cisco router, and I can actually do the basic stuff such as the configurations and so forth. So as you can see, I'm fully connected on the other side. So I can close this window and go to the SSH. Okay, now let's go to the SSH client, and this client, I didn't configure it with an IP, so I have to configure an IP first. This one was pre-configured, so I'll right click and console. Okay, and log in to the Windows machine. Okay, now I need to set an IP. So right click on the network interface card, open network, select, and go to change adapter settings. Right click on the interface, properties, go to IPv4 settings, double click, and then change from dynamic to static IP. So our IP is 192.168.15.20. We're using a /24, which is 255.255.255.0. We don't need a gateway, and I can say okay. Okay, then I can exit this and start the terminal shell, and let me try to ping that IP address, that is the SSH server. That will be ping 192.168.15.1. Okay, it's working. So I can close this, go to party and SSH. So we are SSHing to an SSH server, and that server happens to be a Cisco router as well. So that's 192.168.15.1. So you are being asked to accept this certificate. So these are the digital certificates that we've been talking about. These are the certificates that are responsible for encrypting, and they make your connection more secure. Traffic that is encrypted by a public key is only decrypted by a corresponding private key, and vice versa. So I have to accept this, say yes. So I'll log in as, that is the username, that is Lisa, and enter the password. So as you can see, I'm fully connected. So if I do show run, you can see that I'm connected to a Cisco router. So basically this is how it's done when you are accessing a remote shell. So we used telnet, and then now we're using SSH. So let me close this window. So let's visit our web client. So the first one is the HTTPS client. So double click to start the console, enter my password, cancel this, right click and say open network, and then go to change adapter settings, double click, go to properties, select IPv4 settings, change from static to dynamic. So that will be 192.168.15. I think it's a 30. Let's double check from our topology. It's a double 30 right here. That's what we're configuring. It's a .30. So .30 subnet 24. We don't need a default gateway. Click OK, and then close. Come back and then try to ping the web server. Okay, the web server is pingable. Go back to Firefox and refresh the page. So the test page is working. Alright, so let's exit from here. Let's go to the HTTPS client. So let's start the console and log in. Okay, so let me check if I have an IP before I attempt to connect. So let's ping the web server first. Okay, so I need an IP. Okay, so I need to set up an IP. It's a .40. Change that. It's a .40. 24 subnet. We don't need the gateway. Click OK, then click close. Where's that? Here, close. Go back and try to ping. Now I can ping. So let me start Firefox. So remember, a secure web server uses HTTPS. A non-secure web server uses HTTP. So in the HTTP client, we used HTTP. Now we will use HTTPS. So that will be HTTPS. And the IP address of the web server. Okay, so I'm asked about the certificate. Why do you see this error? So this is a basic warning that you are connecting to a secure web server, but the certificate that is presented was not signed by a certificate authority. This is a self-signed certificate, and therefore you are given a warning. Now, I trust this server because it's a virtual server and it's my server, so I have to accept the warning. So you click understand the risk and then add to exceptions, and then click confirm, and you have your access to the web server. And if you want to see the certificate, you right click on this icon here, and then you click here and click more information, so you can see the certificate. So I say view certificate. As you can see, this is a self-signed certificate, and at this moment your web server is your web conversation is secure from the client side to the server side, so you can survive man-in-the-middle attacks. You can survive sniffing or packet capture. So in the next video we will perform those attacks, man-in-the-middle or the packet capture, and differentiate between a plain text protocol and a secure protocol. So this is what I wanted to show you, and I hope this has been informative, and in the next video we will perform a sniffing attack or capture or packet capture, and then try to see the information that has been shared between a server and a client. So I hope this has been informative, and I'd like to thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.